Night Vision. Following clues left by our ancestors, we unbury the past to reveal a knowledge of unfathomable value, putting us just a little closer to our own true birthrights. From the secret history of a possible bloodline of Jesus Christ, to secret history of America's founders, to the secret history of extraterrestrial interaction on our planet, here to bring light to the night. Your host for Night Vision Radio, René Barnett.
Hey everybody, whole lot of shaking going on out here in Southern California. We had an earthquake a little bit earlier, and I have to say, from where I'm sitting in the San Fernando Valley, it was a bit stronger than any that we felt in the past few years. I think we had one on Easter Sunday a couple of years ago that was not quite this strong, but it was a 4.1 centered in Malibu. So I guess those Malibu beach homes were getting shook up out there. And do hope everyone's okay. I haven't heard anything about any injuries or damages or anything. It just spooked the dogs here and me, but everything was okay. So I hope everyone fared well through the earthquake out here in California. But we got a great show planned for tonight. But before I get into that, I want to mention again that if you would like to get in touch with James Martin, who is our historian, or myself, just go to New Rennie's, actually info@newrennies.org. And also there you can find James's book, Uncharted, by Tim Wallace Murphy, the late, great Tim Wallace Murphy, and James Martin, which talks about visitors to the New World pre-Columbus. And there were lots of them. So very, very interesting book, very well researched. And of course, I highly recommend it. He's my buddy. So there you go. Anyhow, before we go too much further, I want to introduce my pals from KGRA here that are joining me tonight, and that would be Don Ecker of Dark Matters and UAP Crossfire and every other dang show. Hey, Don. Did we get Don? Did we lose Don?
Maybe he stepped away for a second.
Well, how dare him? Anyway, so there, I was just getting ready to introduce Bill Skywatcher. Luke Skywalker, I mean. No, Bill Skywatcher. And last but not least, our wonderful friend, medium Heather Besser.
Hi.
Hi, Heather.
Joining us from Texas, outside earthquake country. And so how you doing, Heather?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, yeah. It's really interesting. You know, I had to have you on again. You know why, but nobody else does yet. But something happened recently that, you know, I accidentally became sort of a witness to. Heather and I were just gabbing the other day, not talking about anything necessarily about anything paranormal or anything like that. And, you know, then Heather, you know, I'm kind of freaked out a little bit. And I said, why? And she said, well, my aunt is in the hospital. And she said, she's going to get out soon. She said, so I thought I'd run by and, you know, get in a visit. And so she went over to the hospital and she took her little 4-year-old daughter, whose name I won't say. If she wants to say it later, that's fine. But Heather's 4-year-old daughter, they went in and they were visiting with the aunt, and the little girl, Heather's daughter, went up to the aunt and said, "You're going to die." And the lady says, "Oh no, honey, I'm going home tomorrow and everything is fine." And she goes, "No, you're going to die." And so Heather's going like, oh my God. And she says, Heather says, "Oh, Lennox, stop playing. She goes, "No, you're going to die. You're going to have a car accident." So yesterday I'm texting Heather and she says, we're driving. She says, we're on about an hour trip here. And she says, we're on our way to a funeral. And I went like, uh-oh. She said, my daughter was right. And her aunt was released from the hospital. And a couple days later, she was on her way to a follow-up doctor appointment. And whether or not she had some sort of health event that made her pass out or whatever it was, or whether she just strictly had a car accident is unclear. But she did have a car accident and she did pass away.
Wow.
And this child is 4 years old.
Yeah.
And
The
not
best
only,
psychic in the world is 4 years old.
yeah, exactly. Not only did she see that, her aunt was going to the other side, but she saw, how it was going to happen. And when Heather said she was on her way to her aunt's funeral, I nearly, choked on my own, I don't know what. But then when she said, I said, how? And she said, car accident. I went like, oh my gosh. Isn't that amazing? So, what this tells me, though, is like, yeah, and I know a lot of people always say that we all have psychic abilities. We can all, talk to the other side. We can all do these things. But this right here tells me that definitely some people are born with something extra, or with somehow the blinders off, or the veil is lifted for them or something. So it's not, in this world, in my book, not everyone is created equal. Don't you think that's true, Heather, that some people just seem to be born with it?
Yeah, I think that maybe the majority of us are, but somehow we lose it along the way. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's definitely lifted, and the veil is really thin now. I don't know if it's because there's a shift in spirituality or something like that, but she's amazing. She's always been like that.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You're kind of,
Here's the deal.
your mic is hot, Don. Or either you're yelling
How's that? Is that better?
a little bit. Just stay back from the mic a little bit. There you go.
Here's the deal.
Perfect.
When I said I'm beginning to wonder if Sasha is real,
You got cut off.
my freaking microphone stopped working. Now, I'm not saying it was Sasha, but if
Not
she
saying
broke
it.
my goddamn microphone, she better buy me a new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. What I was going to say is, it's like, I wanted to put out an invitation to Sasha, of course, but also anyone else that might be wanting to get a message through to Dawn, to Bill, to me, or to someone that's out there that's listening right now that needs to hear it, and, that will recognize the message. I've got some big plans coming up that have to do with my late friend Gloria. I kind of halfway expect her to come busting in like she usually does. So, just whoever's there. It could be somebody completely disassociated from any of us, but we'd like to hear, whoever wants to join us. And Heather, at this moment, is anybody standing up, or are they lining up like they did for Don Ecker that time?
Well, Sasha is here right now, and she's saying that she did that for the microphone because she didn't like that big white dog instead of a Christmas tree.
Well, if she's Navajo, what does she care?
Yeah. I think she just likes to give you a hard time. That's all it is.
Don, we don't know what that means.
I know what it means.
Well, you better tell us. Clue us in.
Okay. Last year, 2022, Vicky, because our previous Christmas tree, which was actually a very beautiful but artificial tree when it was set up, It looked like the real McCoy, okay?
Yeah.
We lost pieces and parts of it. So she decided, not this past Christmas, but the one before, she was going to get a new artificial tree. So she ended up buying this Chinese artificial tree, brought it home, didn't unpack it. We didn't do anything until Christmas. Christmas time, we drug the box out to set the thing up. I thought it was going to be another evergreen tree.
Right.
Well, it was this Chinese monstrosity that you put outside.
Oh.
Okay. It was one of those things.
Yeah.
All hard plastic and internal lights and that kind of crap. Well, we ended up using it. But this past year, I told Vic, I said, no way I'm putting that thing in the living room. She said, yeah. She said it was kind of sad. And I said, yeah, do you want to put it outside? No. So we found the top to our original artificial Christmas tree. And Vicki brought it in laughing about it. She said, well, let's stick this up. And I said, yeah, good idea. Now, we put that thing up and it was about 2 feet tall. It was more of a joke than anything, but we ended up keeping it. But my buddy, Mark Center, you know Mark, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mark, about 5-6 years ago, knows how much I love Snoopy from Peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
And he sent me a 5.5 foot tall blow up Snoopy.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, that I had in the living room. I've got pictures of it. If I had known you guys were going there, I would have had the pictures ready.
Hey, how did I know she was going to go there?
Yeah, really.
That's your girl, Sasha.
But that was what the big white dog was. It was a big Snoopy dog.
How funny.
That is amazing.
Well, there are some people here. They're just like, I think maybe a couple passerbys, maybe. But we can go over them, maybe, if they resonate with somebody. Yeah. So does somebody have a friend named Randy? Let me get a last name. Luce? Randy Luce?
Yes.
Okay. So his sister Lisa is just saying hello. And also there's somebody who's calling himself King Veg, like vegetable, like King Veg. I'm not sure why, but apparently that's like a nickname or something. But
no,
he's just saying hello. So he wants you to relay the message to Randy, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, King Veg is also for Randy?
Yes, so it's King Veg and his sister Lisa. Yeah, they just are saying hello.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also a...
let me, as a matter of fact, I better write that down.
Better, yeah.
Okay.
This is important.
There's also a Mary Gilmore. Mary Gilmore.
No.
She knows somebody named Viva. Myrna. So Myrna. Okay,
Myrna?
so this is Myrna's Mary's sister. Maybe does she have a sister named?
No.
Mary Gilmore. Well, Viva. Who is Viva?
Oh, Viva. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Viva was a good friend of my girlfriend, Myrna, who passed. And she's actually the best friend of Myrna's sister, Terry.
Okay, so this is probably for Viva. So it's Mary.
Okay.
Mary Gilmore.
Okay. Oh, I better write that down.
And she's like, she's like kicking her legs and stuff. And so usually whenever they do that and they're like showing me like they can walk and everything, is that either they couldn't walk or they were like in a wheelchair at the last stages of life. So they're just saying that they're better now.
Heather, put the word out if my Uncle Mac, and that's all I'm going to say, my Uncle Mac is out there. I'd love to check in with him.
Yeah. Well, he said that he was there at Roy's wedding.
Uncle Mac was?
That's what he said.
Who's Roy?
Well, that's one of my grandsons
Oh my
who
God.
got married a couple of months ago.
Oh my gosh.
But Uncle Mac didn't know him.
He knows you, I guess, if you were there or whoever. I don't know. It's
Well,
weird
that's
the way
just
that they do. But they might just be validating that they know what's going on in your life.
Are you talking to Mac right now?
Yeah, he's just said hello. Well, that's what he said, but
Ask him what he always called me as a nickname.
he's not saying anything.
Come on,
There's
Mac.
there's a very pushy person named Pete. And he is saying that, so I don't know which one of you, but whoever feels the guilt for not seeing him, Pete, and like spending time with him.
You sure it's for one of us three? Pete. Oh, it's Bill. It's Bill. Okay, Bill.
Yes.
Fess up.
I'm not going to say anything else until she goes further because that is part of it. I actually have dreams about it.
Oh.
He's saying don't feel guilty because everything happens the way that it's supposed to be. So if you didn't talk to him, if you didn't see him, but you wish that you could talk to him again, here he is, But he's also talking about there is a Francis or a Fran or a Franny, somebody who's one of his friends.
Franny also passed away recently.
Okay. Because they're talking about he is talking about they used to maybe ride bikes or something. He's telling me down. So maybe down like a hill or like a mountain or like a ledge or something. But it was by I wanted to say it was by a church, but it also was under a highway or under an overpass or something like that.
All right, time out.
Okay, Bill.
Pete was my best friend growing up during high school.
Oh.
And we drifted apart. And then I found out he had cancer and he passed away. So I went to the funeral. I even seen him in the hospital before he passed, but he was not in the state of recognizing I was even there. We used to hang out in a schoolyard that you had to go down the hill to get to, and it was right next to a highway.
Was it St. John's or something like that? Was it St. John's?
What, the school?
No, where it was by. Well, where was there a St. John's or something next to it?
There was a cemetery, St. Raymond's.
Okay.
But yeah, Pete was my buddy. And I regretted not being able to see him when I could. And it's horrible that I never got the chance to see him, only when he was dying. And I never got the chance to say anything to him, or try to at least visit him while he was alive and see him.
But you're talking to him now.
Yeah,
Bill.
don't feel any guilt. Everything happens the way it's supposed to. Because if anything would have changed, you wouldn't be sitting right there where you are,
Yeah. Tell him that I miss doing what we used to do in his basement all the time.
He can hear you.
I miss doing it. I miss doing what we used to do in the basement. And I'll see if anything comes back from that. But it was a great hobby. And we spent a lot of time on that hobby in his basement.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow. And I said,
they're just passing by. So it's kind of they're saying what they have to, and then they're just leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Uncle Mac still there?
No.
Is anyone else there?
Not right now, but we can continue talking. Who knows who's going to show up?
I'm the host of the show, and I'm the only one that has not received a message. So I'm just going to. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think
40 minutes.
I got Viva.
That's right. You got Viva. Heather, is this a 24/7 thing and it's just constant? How do you deal with this?
Yeah, it is. It could be 24/7, but I always mentally like just shut it off.
You can do that.
Yeah, because if not, I would go crazy. I'd be locked up somewhere.
For real. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be overbearing and overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think there was a time when you were kind of like it was getting, and then didn't you kind of figure out or learn how to turn it off?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's sometimes where the veil is thinner, and like around Halloween, that's whenever it really is. People say that, but that is true, because I think a lot of people, they want to do the spooky stuff and they want to do the ghost hunts and they want to play with Ouija boards and everything like that. Well, if you have all that energy and then, people are all trying to do it, I can try to shut it off and it won't. And so then, it's all constant, just, and it's like a bunch of people that I don't even know, and it's just chatter, and it's definitely frustrating because I can't pinpoint one. I can just hear a bunch.
I have to ask the next question. When you're dealing with your daughter at 4 years old, and I mean, there's going to have to be the conversation at some point on trying to discuss with her how to control it as well. Has that conversation happened? Because she's only 4. So how do you think, how are you going to make that adjustment moving forward with your daughter having that ability as well?
Yeah. I've thought about it, but I really don't have a good answer for that because she is only 4. I think that, we'll probably have a conversation before school starts and, just let her know like, hey, like if you see another adult in your classroom, don't, they're not really there. Well, they are there, but, according to society and the teacher, they're not there.
Mm.
Wow.
But
also, I know from Heather, from our many, many conversations, that you're very cognizant of just sort of letting her be with her abilities and not trying to push her one way or the other, because I know that, like for instance, when this happened with your aunt at the hospital, you didn't, try to question her and everything after that or make a big deal about it because, I think that's what happens to us if we do have psychic abilities. Somebody makes a big deal about something and then we learn to suppress it, So it seems like that's what you've tried to do is just kind of let her be and develop her own abilities in a natural way. Is that right?
That was something I missed when I was getting the other microphone. Did your daughter see this before it happened?
Yes.
And
she told me before it happened.
Okay. Is this something that you too have happened to you, Heather?
So there's some things that I want to know and some things that I don't want to know. There's a lot of times when our people are doing readings like, do you see, when am I going to die? Well, sadly, I'm not going to answer that question for you, because that's not something that we're supposed to know, and like, I don't want to know that about myself. And so I'm not going to tell anybody else that either. But I mean, there are instances, where I've had somebody call me at like 11 o'clock at night being like, frantic, asking me if their father was going to pass away, which yes, but I'm not going to say yes to them because they're already going through it at that time. But all I could say was, your mother is preparing because she had already passed. Your mother's preparing for his arrival. So take that as you will,
But does she have a different insight than you? I mean, you seem to have what you have, your qualities. Do you notice that she has other attributes that are different from yourself?
So the main difference between myself and her is I can't talk to my family. I would love to talk to my grandparents, because they were like my parents, and she can talk to them. She can see them. She's actually like physically brought me my grandmother's hairbrush and my grandfather's comb in her hand. Like, where would she get that? And they had both passed away. So, I mean,
you mean, and you didn't have those items. It was more like an apportation. These items appeared?
I guess she said that they gave them to her.
Wow.
You know, and then she'll have conversations and she'll say things stuff that she shouldn't know. You know, my grandfather, he passed away whenever she was only 3 months old. And so, not too long ago, maybe about a year ago, I guess, she came into the kitchen while I was cleaning up at nighttime, and she was asking me for a bowl of peppermints because Daw, that's what she called my grandfather, wanted peppermints before he went to bed. She would not know that, but he used to do that all the time. Has to have peppermints before he went to bed.
Wow.
You know, it's just strange little things like that. But she's amazing, and she doesn't understand, you know, that they're not there. And you know, her and my grandmother were very close together. And I think that she would have been really, really hurt to know that, you know, her grandmother died and she just left and she's never going to see her again. Right. But I don't think that she knows that she's gone.
Right.
You know?
You say you do not have the ability to communicate with them?
No.
You know, something else, Heather, I was going to ask you about that visit with your aunt. And now if you know, was your daughter getting the messages from someone on the other side? Or do you think she might be demonstrating some abilities as a psychic?
I really don't know.
A psychic and a medium, you know, are different. You're a medium. Mm-hmm. You know, hear people talk on the other side, and psychics do a lot of predicting and things like that generally. But I'm wondering whether or not she's like getting the messages through her own psychic abilities, or whether one of the people on the other side is saying, oh, you know, she's going to be with us soon or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure about that, because like I have talked to my grandparents, I think twice, either once or twice, but very briefly. And that was only because my spirit guide allowed me to do that. And yeah, so I'm not sure if she is psychic, or maybe my grandfather or my grandmother told her something and I just couldn't hear them, you know, and she can. Yeah. So I'm really not sure. I don't know how to approach that question with her, you know?
Right.
Because I don't want to lead her into question, you know, lead her into an answer and ask her, hey, did Ma or Da ask you, you know, tell you this? And then I don't want her to be like, yes, because I just asked, you know, leading question. So.
And I meant to ask you to ask her, you know, if she was aware that you were coming on a radio show, and to ask her if she had anything she wanted to say, you know, not to come on, but, you know, to tell us.
All I know is that if she ever says that something is the matter with me or any of us, just go ahead and just go to the hospital, because, you know, just save yourself a trip.
You tell that little girl I don't want to know anything.
Yeah.
But when she starts school, I mean, she's going to be around other kids. Are you going to have that conversation? Like, she might get some kind of insight or a premonition, so to speak, about a friend and say something. You know what I mean? That's got to be.
Well, she's too young to have any filters now.
Exactly.
I mean, and she's just the cutest thing. I mean, she's just a cutie pie little girl, and, you know, stuff like that just coming out of her mouth. It's like, whoa, out of the mouths of babes, for real, you know.
So it was really weird when we went to the graveside service. You know, we went to the funeral home, and then we did, you know, the funeral, and then we went to the graveside service, and, you know, we were in the cemetery, and, you know, people were saying, oh, how cute she was and how, you know, funny she was or whatever. And her response was, I love cemeteries. I'm like, oh my God, like, why would she say that? Like, now it's a weird kid, you know, like, oh, this is Heather's kid. And what's, you know, the funniest part about all of this is my in-laws are Methodist preachers. And so they have no idea what I do at all. And, you know, I think that they'd rather have me being probably like a stripper than being a medium, you know? And yeah. And so at one point she was going through the graves and she was like, hello, hello, hello. And then she was calling her grandfather, my in-law, the preacher, was following her around. I was like, told my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, please go get her before she scares him. Like, just like,
Wow.
yeah.
And they don't know, right? His family.
No, I wish they did, because, you know, there's people that come through for them and they really want to talk to them. Every time I see them, they come through, and, you know, I can't give that message.
So your husband knows. He knows what both of your abilities are.
Yes.
And that has to be kind of bizarre that you guys, the three of you, have this thing going, but everybody else in the family is alienated, has no idea what's really going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
On his side of the family, her side of the family, generally
They know?
My side of the family does. Yes, they know. But, you know, I didn't tell my husband I could do any of this until after we got married. So there's the key right there.
Wow.
Did he freak out when he found out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there an example? Like you told him and he's like, oh my gosh, that you convinced him that this is what's going on.
Yeah. So yeah, there was some convincing. It wasn't like, I'm like, look, I know this is going to sound really weird and I'm going to sound like I'm crazy, but I swear I'm not crazy. And then, you know, go into explaining everything. But now, I mean, he's used to it. He's gotten really used to it. There's some spirits that hang around, like my spirit guide and my soul group and stuff. They're in the house all the time and they're always talking, usually, you know, and they like to mess with him. They love to mess with him, because at first he was kind of, you know, like, back off. Like I'm kind of like, you know, scared of this stuff a little bit, but he's good now. But there was at one point where, you know, Etta, my spirit guide, would show herself just briefly, just show herself so he could see her. And he'd be like, oh my God, did you see that? I'm like, Etta? He's like, yes. I was like, yeah, you know, but she just did it just to be funny.
Heather, I have something to ask you, and well, you won't find it strange, but I find it strange even mentioning it, okay? But often, out of the corner of my eye, I will see things move.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, a few days ago, where I'm sitting right here in the dining room, the kitchen is off to my left, and I saw something low to the ground, like it was running through the kitchen. I thought it was one of my two dogs, and I looked, and neither of them were there. Now, Vicky, my wife, will often lay things down, and then she'll come back to get them, and they'll be gone. Just flat gone. And then they'll turn up later. Now, with your vast insight and knowledge, what in the heck is going on? Do you have any? Will Sasha tell you, or she apparently hangs around here occasionally, right?
Yeah, she does. But Etta's here right now, and she's saying it's buckwheat.
It's buckwheat.
Buckwheat.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That was our dog. That was.
He likes to mess with you.
Buckwheat does?
Yes.
Yeah, we used to cuddle. He was a huge dog. He was like 125 pounds in his prime. And if I went in to take a nap in the afternoon occasionally, he'd come in, jump up, and I'd wrap around him, and you know, we'd just go to sleep. But yeah, he's been gone for quite a while now. And but I've often thought he may hang around.
Yeah, he hangs around a lot. Like, probably more often than Sasha does.
He's always coming through, Dawn, every time we talk to Heather.
Yeah.
Seems like Buckwheat's there. He's
Yeah.
the first one to come through for you.
Well, him and, according to Heather, him and Zachariah Sitchin, yeah.
The bonds we have with our pets, they're family. So
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at the least.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
But
All right.
what about things disappearing? What do you have any?
And showing back up again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just move them, show back up. I have a spirit who likes to come and he steals my spoons. I've had to buy spoons like 3 times because he keeps taking them. And I'm like, what are you doing with these spoons? He said he's trading them. I'm like, for what? You're bartering with my spoons in heaven? What are you doing?
That is crazy.
You know, at one point I bought a bunch of plastic ones.
It's funny that you would mention that about, things disappearing and stuff. I was just thinking that last evening. I had put something down and I looked and it was gone, and I got up. I was like just ripping the house apart because I knew it was right there. And then I came back and it was right there where I'd left it, and it was just sitting right there in plain sight. If it had been there, I would have seen it, but it disappeared and then it came back. And I thought, okay, I'm losing it. It's just me. But then you bring this up today and it makes me wonder,
Well, this is going to make me sound crazy. And so whenever I say something's going to make me sound crazy, it's going to be nuts, right?
Okay, go for it.
Not only can I talk to spirits, right? I can hear ETs now. And that's frightening.
That's
and it
so cool.
freaks me out. Because about like 2 weeks ago, if that, or like last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Well, wait, before you go on, how do you know they're ET?
I was just going to say that, Don.
Yeah, because basically they told me. And it's weird because this is the first time I've actually talked to them before. Well, this one in particular, but there's been grays that have come through and I've actually I could hear them. They don't ever show themselves. It's more like, telepathically, I guess. And whenever that happens, I can see Etta. I can see her mouth moving. I know she's talking, but I can't hear her. So somehow it's like they're blocking it with a vibration or somehow. I have no idea. But this one was a reptilian named Skillen. And it was crazy. Yeah.
What do you mean by crazy?
He was talking about, he's very arrogant. He was just an arrogant person. Like the arrogance in his tone, just what he was saying, was insane. He was talking about how they got defeated and how they're trying to make a new race. And the new race was going to be called the Rexus. Yeah. But
are they using humans for some type of hybridization program to create this new?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I used to be a detective, right? So while you're talking, all these questions are popping into my mind. Now, you believe they're ET because they told you they were ET. Could this be, and I don't want to get out in the weeds, but could this be a demonic deception?
I don't think so. No, because even if it was demonic, I have talked to dark spirits like that before, not on purpose. Of course, they just came through, and I was still able to hear Etta. And then Etta kind of just shoot him away.
Is there some sort of sense of them that you get, like a different feeling? Like it's a different feeling if it's a demon or demonic thing? And is there a different sort of vibe for an alien?
Yes, there is.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking. You have other ways of discerning it besides they just told you that.
Yes. I know that if I can't hear Etta, that it has to be something else.
And I want to say something. I don't know, how long have we known each other now, Heather? Has it been a year, 2 years? I don't even know.
Probably around there.
Know that from the onset, from the very beginning, Heather wanted nothing to do with aliens and extraterrestrials. She didn't have any interaction. She did not want any. And of course, hanging out with people like us, the alien subject keeps coming up. So do you think that has caused this sort of breakthrough with these other types of beings coming through that you believe are aliens?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know why. I think they know that I can communicate, and I don't want to. you know. Do you guys know who Vivian Chauvet is?
No,
She's always at Contact in the Desert. I don't know if you guys go to that, but
Oh, yeah.
no.
but yeah, I was talking to her about everything that had happened, and she was just, you know, in amazement because she can speak to them. It's weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Heather. Do you get a feeling when you communicate with these alleged ETs? Do you get a feeling about what type of regard they have toward human beings?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like different kinds because there's been, you know, the reptilian and then there's been the grays. And I know there's a big difference between both of them. I know that there's nice reptilians and, you know, not so nice ones. And I think that the one that was trying to talk to me was a not so nice one. And the way that he was talking was basically, we're stupid, you know?
Well, taking a look at today's news, I could almost agree.
Well, oh my gosh. Leave it to Dawn, right?
Heather, what about interdimensionals? Because I think a lot of people, when they have an experience, they don't know if it's something that's a spiritual, it's spiritual in nature, extraterrestrial. What about interdimensional or an existence overlapping ours, and there's something from the other side coming through ours? Is that something that you've experienced? Like there's something else going on, like another dimension or parallel universe or multiverse going on?
Or underground universe.
You know,
I've been talking about
what is normal at this point? You know, what is normal? What is, I mean, if there's even like an inclination of like there is an interdimensional universe, then that had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, just like vampires and fairies and all sorts of things, like they had to come from somewhere.
Yeah, the mythology of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some truth to a lot of those things. But, you know, Dawn and I had talked a little bit recently about something going on inside the earth, like a civilization. And maybe, you know, I was thinking maybe those UFOs that go in and out of the water, maybe they're really going down into a cave and inside somewhere or something like that. And as, you know, as wild as that sounds, you know, I'm trying not to be as close-minded as I once was and just like explore every possibility. Have you ever had any indication of anything like that, Heather?
I think what she's saying, a previously ancient human civilization that was forced to probably flee Earth roughly 12,000 years ago at the end of the Ice Age. And then when they came back after things kind of settled down, I mean, this is all historical fact. What happened here was a catastrophic event beyond your imagining. But when they came back, for whatever reason, they decided to go underground. And this is a theory, of course. I don't know this for a fact, but they decided to go underground, and basically they pretty much kept themselves hidden there.
I mean, who knows? But if there is, maybe they can save us from ourselves before we destroy the planet, you know?
Is that something that, I don't know if Etta's still there, but is that something that she has any knowledge of or anybody else? That might be
Sasha, are you still there, Sasha? Sasha, baby.
Sasha, please.
Yes, please, Sasha, come back.
I'm beginning to think she's a tease. That's
I
what
think she is. But you know what, Dawn? I think that you like it. So
I have to say, when you brought up this extraterrestrial part, I don't know if it's because you're picking their signals up or if they now have developed an interest in you. and anything else around you. Is that a concern of yours?
Well, it was a concern. So you guys know what Alexa is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So they started talking on that sometimes. And at one point I was talking to my friend. We were just talking about, spiritual things and metaphysical, like we always do. And they had came through and said that they were going to teach me xenolinguistics. I don't know what xenolinguistics was until I Googled it. And that was concerning, and I didn't want to, I don't know why I'm so scared of them. I think that's just like a thing for me. I'm not sure. Maybe it's, the fear of the unknown or whatever. I know that they're not going to hurt me. I know that. But I was actually going to go to Contact in the Desert this summer. But it coincides with my son's graduation.
Oh.
Yeah. So next year for sure, I will be at Contact in the Desert.
Well, I'll meet you there because that's right down the road.
Alexa, fire the photon torpedoes.
Oh my God.
How funny.
Oh my gosh.
I thought my Alexa was going to go nuts.
Now, when you say they talk to you through Alexa, or they said stuff, what did it sound like? And what did they
just
say?
like her. It sounds like her voice, but it doesn't say anything like anything before or afterwards. It just says that or whatever they're saying. And then I ask to repeat it and they say there's nothing to repeat. It's strange. Yeah, so I unplugged it.
Is it in English, just like she's talking?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, what have they said?
About how they want to teach me linguistics. They wanted my help. They were talking about, I'm trying to say like what they actually said on there versus what they told me.
Right.
I should have wrote stuff down.
Oh, it's okay. I just kind of wondered generally what kind of things
but
they were
it's very interesting. And I have a bad habit of not writing things down. And so that's what I need to do.
Keep a digital recorder close to you. A little handheld digital recorder.
Just your phone. You can do it on your phone.
Yeah, document it.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah. But
anybody else lined up?
Yeah, we've got about less than 10 minutes to go. So if there's anyone out there that has a message for me particularly, no, for anyone that might be listening, including Dawn.
Oh, thanks.
Or me, but anyone that in general that might be listening or that we can deliver a message to.
And Sasha, that was a dirty trick, screwing up my microphone. That really was. That could only be her. This thing has been solid gold since I bought it.
They love electronics.
To me, that thing about the Christmas tree and the dog.
Snoopy.
It's crazy. We have a listener out there named James who says, I would love a message. I don't know if, and it's not our James. I mean, it's someone in the chat room.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, Heather, if you have anything for James.
Yeah, if anybody comes through, I'll let you know. But right now, it's just Etta.
Okay. And Etta doesn't know James, I guess.
Ask Etta what Sasha does when she wanders off, will you? I'm curious, really curious.
She said she goes and polishes her boots. Etta's something else. I don't know if you've ever talked to Etta before, but she's something else.
Oh, James is from the UK. We've got another James from the UK. Very good.
Polishing her boots, huh?
What about her? Doesn't she wear moccasins? Or is she wearing his
Etta was being a smart ass.
Yes. Meet Etta. Yeah. That's how she is. She's like a Sour Patch Kid.
Oh man.
I'll probably get in trouble for that later.
Oh boy. Well, it's better than a Cabbage Patch Kid.
So have any of you had any experiences lately?
Who are you talking to, Bill?
Any of you? Have any of you had any experiences lately?
Shadow people. Okay,
Really?
what I would I give, that's what most people would call them.
Yeah.
But occasionally, out of the, like I said earlier, out of the corner of my eye, one day, this is several years ago, I was getting ready to do a broadcast, and my office door, which I used to do all my broadcasts in my office, was open, and the bedroom door right across from us. And as I'm down doing something on my computer, honest to Pete, suddenly I saw this shape like they walked past. My head snapped up, and there was nothing there. But I had seen movement. Now that's weird. So I have no explanation for that.
But that, aren't shadow people like you see just a really dark thing and it's negative.
Oh yeah, it was very, very black.
I
shape.
see it was. Did it give you like a negative feeling?
No, I didn't have any other than surprise. What in the heck is that?
Did you have any like intuition or anything, like gut instinct, like who it was?
No.
No.
And I'll tell you, Heather, my gut instinct over the years has proved to be pretty reliable.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt nothing that way.
Well, then it probably wasn't anything bad.
Ask your husband. He's a cop.
Yeah.
I'm sure he gets his fill of gut instinct, feelings. And, that guy, I'm going to keep my eye on that guy. That guy's up to no good, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, we got about 4 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if anyone needs to reach Heather, you can find her at medium Heather Besser at gmail.com. And that's Heather in the normal way, Heather. And last name.
Do that again?
Heather.
Oh, you were so quick there. I thought you had a double A in there.
Oh, no. I won the spelling bee. I won the state spelling bee in the state of Oklahoma. No, actually, I didn't, but I made the finals. That's a different story.
Okay.
For another day. But anyhow, it's Heather Besser, medium Heather Besser at gmail.com. And Besser is Besser. So, and also you can always get hold of us here at KGRA if you're trying to get hold of anyone that you see on this broadcast.
And I've been meaning to get in touch, Heather, and I've had so many other things going on that I haven't had the opportunity, but don't be shocked if I get in touch.
Oh, I love talking to you. You can touch anytime.
Oh, man.
But I'll tell you, for Facebook friends, Heather's a Facebook friend.
Yeah.
She has the smartest ass attitude of anybody I've seen on Facebook.
It's hilarious.
Half the time I'm wondering, is she going into counseling?
Yeah, I'm waiting for a disorder to be named after me. So, like Heather syndrome, something like that.
Any closing thoughts from Etta or anything else before we wrap up? Anything coming?
Oh, are you closing my show, Bill? Thank
we got
you.
like 2 minutes. I am the producer. I gotta,
Hey, I'm the host.
So every time someone asks, if they have anything else to say, like a spirit has anything to say, and they always say the same thing, is just be kind to each other. So that's what we need to do. It's just be kind to each other. One gesture of kindness will go a long way. So just smile at someone who might need it.
That's a good message.
I can use all the smiles I get.
Oh, definitely. It really does make a huge difference. It really, really does. And somebody's day that might not be having a very good day, They might need that smile or that little compliment or something, just a little kind gesture.
Actually, that's more profound, Renee, than you may even realize yourself.
Oh, no, I realize, because every act of human kindness uplifts all of mankind forever. That's my favorite saying, and I don't even know who said it, and I've been trying to find it again, but I believe that, if you do an act of kindness, it raises your endorphin levels and oxytocin levels, and if you're receiving an act of kindness, same thing, or if you witness an act of kindness, it brings.
And sometimes a shot of tequila will do the same thing.
I second that.
Or they go together pretty well too. A good old fashioned smile and a good old fashioned shot of tequila.
TikTok, Renee.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you.
I hope you'll come back again soon. And of course, I can't have you on and not have Don, because he'll kill me. So we'll all get together again, and maybe
Well, not dead, not dead.
No, he won't kill me dead. But
well, if he does, I'll be able to talk to you. So we'll find the show.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna come and visit you for sure when I'm on the other side, Heather. So
Okay.
You be ready to take down all my messages.
I will.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And take care of that little girl, Heather.
I will.
And everybody else. Be kind to each other. That's a great message. That's from the other side. I didn't say it, but I agree with it. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Good night, Bill. Good night, Heather.